better practices published, read them all from the NBIA, great better practices. Now, Australia did this. Incubators haven't changed. Great value for money. Working well. Very few incubators changed. Come 2000, Australia had full employment in effect. No unemployment problem. Our problems were very, very different. Incubators had to change. What happens? The government stops to fund them. There's almost no government funding of incubators in Australia. We have a problem. The incubation industry hasn't actually gone through this latest innovation. And I compare Australia to New Zealand, who wasn't doing incubation in the 90s. They come in around 2000. 2001 is when it started. And again, they had full employment. Their issue, they were far smarter than Australia. They lost manufacturing industry, they lost their corporates. Their standard of living was taking a decline. They had to generate new export revenue. Where's that going to come from? Commercialising intellectual property and exporting it to the world. Their incubation now leads the world in this functionality. High-tech, very, very high-tech, success-sharing incubation that takes companies to the world. Australia didn't do it. This occurs to companies, it occurs to incubators. What is the drivers of opportunity? They change. The public support that incubators generally rely on, one way or another, changes. Incubators have to adapt and change in exactly the same way as the entrepreneurs do. So incubators need to treat themselves exactly in the same way as they treat their entrepreneurs. And you'll be telling your entrepreneurs, yep, there's this product now, you've actually got to be, when the sales of the product go up the curve and get to the top, the key thing they've got to be doing is, what's the next product? What's the next evolution? Because if they don't, it's going to decline. Lots of incubators don't do that. And they decline. And they go down here and they fail. So, again, this is another activity that goes online. As I type that in here. Yeah. We want you to start identifying the drivers most relevant to your incubation initiative. What do your stakeholders want? Now you can do this for your entrepreneurs as well, but let's look at stakeholders for this. What does government want? What do universities want? What do customers want? Now, governments in democratic countries want to win elections. That's their driver. And when you start getting down to it, governments need to win elections in democracies that have short electoral time spans. What do international donors want? What do universities want? So again, spend a few minutes just looking at this in terms of your stakeholders. Oh, your slide. Yeah, and again, you'll discuss this with your team in your incubator. And again, when you've done this, when you post half-page bullet points. With all of this, doing it online, and actually, in the end, preparing a marketing strategy, no one wants lots of words. It's short, sharp, snappy, bullet point, dot point stuff. That's what works. Not big, thick texts. Okay? This is same as business plans. Good business plans are short. Good business plans aren't long. Marketing strategies are short, not long. Now, lots of thinking goes behind it. It gets distilled down to these key points. There's just one element. Again, you'll complete online, looking at what's your stakeholders, what drives them. And again, you'll find as you get into this, what governments want, and we've got some exercises that will really make this very clear, will be probably quite different to what your customers want. So let's look at this for the point of the little discussion now as to what governments want. What are the drivers of opportunity for the governments who support you? And how is that changing? Does everyone have governments? Does it make sense? All look at governments, government support normally does. Give you 5 minutes and then we'll get one or two to present back and then we'll keep going.